The earthquake is finally here in Season 7. What's going on, guys? Kando here, and I just want to say thank you guys for clicking on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like it. It really helps the channel out. Also, guys, I have a creator code. Recently, 5 people have actually used it, and I don't know who has used it, and I want to give credit to them. So what I want you guys to do is, if you do use my code Kando, C-A-N-D-O, on the screen right here, do me a big favor. Tweet me at my Twitter. The link is down in the description below. I'll screenshot it, and then I'll post it in my next video and give 2 people or 3 people shout outs, or whoever uses my code. I'll give you guys a quick shout out and show you guys, you know, your Twitter handle and everything like that, just to show support, because you guys are supporting the channel. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the video, and let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Kando here, and what we're going to be talking about is the earthquake that is inevitably going to happen at the end of Season 7, which is in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. So it's honestly kind of crazy. This season has went by really fast, from, you know, the snow falling, to Polar Peak happening, to the Infinity Blade, to, you know, the Ice King, to the Fire King breaking out of the prison, or the prisoner, you know, breaking out of his, you know, out of his ice, or whatever it's called, you know, him breaking out of the Ice King's prison. You know, he was enslaved or imprisoned for probably, if lore was there, it'd probably be millions of years, because he looks old as crap, dude. He looks really old, and, you know, it looks like he's been through a lot. He's like a molten lava dude, you know, and honestly, what they're doing with him is even crazier. We'll get into all of that later on in the video, but what we're going to be talking about is, you know, recently data miners have found that there was 3 events at the start of 7.3's update. The first one was the Marshmallow Concert, which we all know the Marshmallow Concert was absolutely amazing. If you guys didn't have the chance to do it, I think at 2 a.m. the same day. It was 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, and then 2 a.m. Eastern Standard on the same day, which was February 1st or February 2nd. I can't remember. I think it was February 2nd, which was Saturday. They had that event. And then miners also found that in the second to last event for the season, it was the lunar event, or the festivities event. That's what it was called, the festivities event. And what they're going to be doing is something cool for Chinese New Year, because if you guys don't know, it's Chinese New Year as of February, I think 7th, or something around that day. You know, it's the Year of the Pig, which is pretty cool. The Year of the Pig, that's one of my favorite animals, you know, oink oink. And then the final event is the earthquake, the season-ending earthquake. People might be saying, what do you mean season-ending earthquake? So in the files, data miners and, you know, people who have been looking into the files found out that there was 3 events, like I mentioned, the 2 previous, and then the earthquake. So the earthquake is actually going to be the season-ending event. So what I'm going to be playing for you guys is it's the earthquake sounds that were leaked. So I'm going to be looping it. So it's about 30 seconds and then another 30 seconds. So you're going to hear the earthquake sounds, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Now, you guys might be wondering, what the hell? Why does that sound like that? It actually does sound kind of weird. If you guys don't know what that was, I'm going to play it again, like in 30 seconds, but I just want to explain to you guys what you're going to be hearing. So the first sound you're going to hear is the large earthquake when it first happens. It's the loudest, or when it starts to actually, you know, mess up the map. That's the largest earthquake. The second sound you hear is the medium earthquake. And then after the medium earthquake is obviously the small earthquake. It kind of sounds like a little ripple. It kind of sounds like a little bit of thunder. So I'm going to let you guys hear it again, and then you guys, you know, will obviously decide what you guys think of it. So that's honestly kind of crazy. I can't wait for this event. So I want to talk about 2 theories about the dragon eggs, what I think is going to happen with the whole earthquake situation, and then the prisoner slash fire king. So we'll get into the prisoner slash fire king first. So as you guys could tell, the fire king kind of has like a molten arm and a molten head, his final stage. My dude looks like he's been through a lot, honestly. He looks like he's been through the ringer. So people have been speculating. So in the real world, there are tectonic plates under the earth, right? So earthquakes are caused by tectonic plates shifting and moving. So what there's been speculation is that there's a volcano or around FORTNITE or something like that, because when a volcano erupts, it tends to cause an earthquake. Just when an earthquake happens, a tsunami happens. So if you guys don't know, like when a earthquake happens, I think there was a massive earthquake and then a tsunami happened and it hit Japan. So it's kind of like that. So when a volcano erupts, there's speculation that earthquakes also tend to happen. So what I think is going to happen is this dude is a molten lava, type of dude who's just walking around. So he actually just might be the volcano. He just might be the destroyer of worlds in a sense, because if you remember, when he was stuck in the Ice King's prison, the Ice King made Polar Peak, right? So he made all that ice. He made all of that situation down there with Polar Peak freezing over Greasy Grove and all of that. And if you remember, in the description of the prisoner, it says, and I quote, "Here to restore balance to the world." So that's kind of eerie in my opinion, but what it essentially did was he melted the entire snow areas of the Ice Legion when they came out. So the Ice King, he called out his Ice Legion, and then all of a sudden he called them back in once the prisoner came out. So I think the prisoner is very strong. I think that he actually acts as that volcano-esque person. So what I think is going to happen is he actually causes the earthquake. And when he causes this earthquake, it's going to shatter Polar Peak. And when Polar Peak does get destroyed, I think that it's going to end up hatching the dragon eggs. And that's my second theory. So there's two theories to my second theory. So really it's like a second theory and a third theory. So my theory about the dragon eggs is it's a two-parter. So the first part is pretty simple. I think that when Polar Peak does crash and burn, essentially, no pun intended, because he might actually burn the entire map. When it does crash and burn, the actual dragons are going to be awoken because they're going to crash and they're going to obviously shatter. And I think that the dragons are ready to be hatched, but it's just really hard for them to get out. So I think what's going to end up happening is when Polar Peak eventually gets destroyed from the earthquake from the Fire King / the prisoner, they're going to end up hatching. And then, that's when Season 8 starts. I think that once they end up hatching, it's going to bring us right into Season 8. I think it's going to be some type of Chinese New Year type deal, or some type of Asian. I think it's going to be more of like an Asian theme, because they have yet to do some type of theme like that, country-based. So maybe that's going to happen because, if you guys remember, there was a couple skins that came out in the FORTNITE store a couple weeks ago, and it had the Infinity Dragon eating its tail. And that's like a big thing in the Chinese culture. And if you kind of look, there are dragons inside of the dragon eggs, obviously, and they almost create an 8. They don't make an 8, but it's kind of like a question mark, and then you kind of see the tail kind of flip. So I think that that's also one theory that's going to come true. The second theory of the dragon eggs is I think that they're just eventually going to hatch. So obviously they're going to hatch, but when they hatch, I think that you're going to see them they're going to be cracked open. That's it. So they're just going to be cracked open, and then people are going to be like, what happened? And this is obviously all after the earthquake happens. So they have an internal timer, in my opinion. So, like, they're ready to hatch when something big happens. And I think that earthquake is going to wake them up, and they're like, what the hell? Where am I? And then they just eventually wake up, and they crack the eggs. And then Season 8 starts. And now people are going to be like, well, they cracked, and now what's going to happen? I think what's going to end up happening is after they cracked, you're just going to see, like, Season 8's just going to start. That's it. FORTNITE's going to just be like, nah, forget it. Nothing happened with those dragon eggs. And then sometime down the line of Season 8, that's when they're going to be like, ha, we tricked you. Boom, these dragons are actually real, and they're coming out to play, and they're here to attack you guys. I think that that's something that is going to become a factor because, the cat's kind of out of the bag on those dragon eggs. We all know something's going to happen with them. Fortnite's just, I think, in my opinion, trying to get something special out of them, trying to milk it in a sense. Because I think that they don't know what they want to do with these dragon eggs. And in my opinion, that's their best bet, is to have them opened up, be like, oh, wow, they're not here. Then Polar Peak get destroyed, create an avalanche, and then destroy the entire map. And then maybe the map ends up melting out, and then we have something crazy happen. But honestly, I think that that's what's going to happen. It's kind of, written in the stars in a sense. They know that they have to do something with these dragon eggs. There's too many YouTubers that have been talking about it. There's too many streamers that have been talking about it. There's too many people that enjoy these Easter eggs. So put down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of this theory. Like the video if you guys haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Use my creator code if you want. You don't have to. Subscribe to the channel like I mentioned before. My name's Kando, guys. I love you guys, and I'm out. Peace.